Welcome to Sunday's first video for you. Firstly, I want to talk about a few comments which I read after I did a video yesterday. The video was about an OLA commander. I shared his picture. It was claimed by government-backed news sources that OLA commander was arrested in southern Oromia. His pictures were shared by some government-backed news sources. His name is Jal Muhammad Ame. Several viewers commented. They said, Sajid, this is an old picture. Jal Muhammad Ame was captured several years ago. Then he remained in prison. He was then released. And after that, some say he joined OLA, some say he did not join OLA. Well, I have not been able to confirm that this picture is an old picture. If someone has any evidence, he or she can share this evidence with me at sajid672000@gmail.com. Government-backed sources say this is a new picture and Jal Muhammad Ame was arrested in recent days. Now, some news stories for you. Firstly, a news story from Wolaita where Professor Assefa Wodajo has been arrested once again. This morning he was arrested. Yesterday in Wolaita, in Sodo city, there was a demonstration. Security forces disrupted the demonstration. They did not allow the demonstration to continue. What is happening there? We know that Ethiopian government is planning to create a new regional state. 2 days ago in a video I shared with you government's plan to create a new regional state in SNNPR. A new region will split from SNNPR. Wolaita seems to have its concerns about this plan. Secondly, a new story from Oromia. Oromo Federalist Congress, OFC, a few hours ago released a statement. The statement is about hunger in Oromia. People are dying, according to OFC, in 4 administrative zones of Oromia. Question is, what is OFC doing to alleviate the suffering of the people? Thirdly, Eritrean diaspora festival is underway in Dallas, Texas. Today is the last day of this festival. And last night, Tiffany Haddish appeared at the festival after I uploaded my last video. After that, she attended this diaspora festival. We have some pictures for you and clips as well. And lastly, viewers, is Eritrea going to join Tigray Ethiopia peace talks mediated by African Union, and now some other mediators have been added as well. African Union is recommending that Eritrea should be formally invited to be part of this peace process. Should Eritrea be part of this peace process? I'll give you my analysis, my understanding of the situation. Firstly, viewers, Wolaita people has been, Wolaita region people, they have been fighting for years, struggling for years for a separate regional state. Professor Assefa Wodajo, an intellectual, an activist, has been imprisoned in the past several times, and just a few months ago he was in prison. His wife released an appeal for his release. He was then released, and this morning he was once again arrested. He was arrested in Sodo from his house. Yesterday in Sodo, people protested. They blocked roads. Then security forces intervened They disrupted the protest, and the protest came to an end. Why are people protesting in Wolaita, and why has Professor Assefa Wodajo been arrested? Government is planning to create a new regional state. One was created last year, Southwest Regional State, which was part of SNNPR. And now another regional state is being created. This regional state will split from SNNPR. And this new regional state will consist of 10 districts and 7 zones. In a previous video, I shared details with you that Wolaita, Gamo, Gofa, Gadeo, South Omo, Konso, Burji, Dirashe, Ale, Muscato, and other regions and zones will be part of this new regional state. This is government's proposal, and government is of Prosperity Party. Professor Assefa Wodajo has been working for a separate Wolaita regional state. For years, this struggle has been going on. And he and other Wolaita people, they do not want Wolaita to be part of this new regional state. They want Wolaita to be a separate regional state on its own, by itself. So that is why they are rejecting this proposal. Regional officials, district officials from these 10 districts and 7 zones have submitted a written request to Ethiopian House of Federation for the creation of this new regional state. Discussions are underway. House of Federation will make the decision about the creation of a new regional state. Before that, Wolaita seems to be rejecting this new regional state. Wolaita wants to be a separate regional state by itself. That is why yesterday demonstrations were held in Sodo, reportedly backed by Professor Assefa Wodajo, and it led to action, and today he was arrested from his house in Sodo, and a crackdown is being launched now against main Wolaita people who want a separate Wolaita regional state. People are fleeing. Activists are fleeing Wolaita zone, Sodo city. So in coming hours, we could see more arrests in Sodo and other parts of Wolaita. Secondly, viewers, an opposition party from the Oromia region of Ethiopia today released a statement. Oromo Federalist Congress, led by Professor Murira Gudina, who is the chairman of this party. Deputy chairman are Jawar Muhammad, Bakle Garba. This party released a statement. OFC says that conflicts in the northern part of Ethiopia are being given more coverage, more publicity. And in the shadow of this much publicized conflict in the north of Ethiopia, people are dying in southern Oromia. They are dying of hunger. OFC claims in 4 zones of Oromia, people are dying due to drought, due to lack of food. The 4 zones are Bale, Guji, Borana, West Guji. OFC claims that government is denying. Government says there is no death from hunger in Oromia. What does OFC want? OFC firstly says there must be an end to the conflict, armed conflict ongoing in Oromia between Oromo Liberation Army and government forces. It is leading to deterioration of overall living conditions in Oromia, and the state resources are being diverted toward these operations. Secondly, OFC wants international aid agencies, UNICEF, USAID, UNOCHA, to focus on southern Oromia as well, where people are dying. It is saying that government must come out of this self-denial mode, and it should mobilize support for the people of Oromia. Now, my question is, what has OFC done so far for alleviating hunger in southern Oromia? What are OFC leaders doing these days? Professor Muria Godina is in Kenya. He was invited by Kenyan government to monitor elections there. On Tuesday in Kenya, election will be held, presidential election. Where are Jawar and Bakle Garba? Jawar and Bakle Garba are touring Europe and North America. They have visited several countries of Europe, then America, and now Jawar is in Canada, I think. What have they done for drought-hit areas of Oromia? How many funds have been raised by them? How many times did they speak about drought? They have been trying to create unity within Oromo diaspora. Their tour is a political tour. They could have gone on a fundraising tour as well for the people of Oromia, drought-hit people of Oromia. They have huge appeal in outside Ethiopia. Oromo diaspora attended Jawar, Bakle Garba programs in large numbers. They could have done a lot for the people of Oromia, but they focused on political issues. They focused on meetings with foreign government officials to put pressure upon Ethiopian federal government for their political benefits. So all are to blame. Yes, government is responsible more than others because government has resources. But opposition parties cannot just issue statements and say that they have done their part. No, they need to do more. Conflict in Tigray, yes, it should not make the people forget what is happening in Oromia. But if Tigray conflict was highlighted on international media, credit goes to Tigrayan activists, Tigrayan diaspora, which worked for Tigray people, Tigray region. What about Oromo diaspora? Is it playing its role in telling the world what is happening in southern Oromia, in Borana, Guji, East Guji Valley? I have not seen any large-scale demonstrations, some campaigns by Oromo diaspora, Oromo politicians about humanitarian disaster which is happening in Oromia according to OFC. All should play their roles, I think. Thirdly, a new story from Dallas, Texas. Yesterday, I reported that Tiffany Haddish had not attended Eritrean Diaspora Festival in Dallas, but after that, after the video, she appeared there, very warmly welcomed. She was given an award as well for being a goodwill ambassador for Eritrea. Sophia Tesfamariam, Eritrean representative at UN, was also there. All welcomed Tiffany Haddish. She spent some time there at the festival. We have a clip for you showing Tiffany Haddish at Dallas festival yesterday. Today is the last day of this festival. Watch this clip from Dallas, the next news story. Lastly, viewers, African Union, which is leading process of talks, mediatory role to resolve Tigray conflict, is recommending that Eritrea should be part of this process as well. A document was leaked. It was released yesterday, showing briefing given by Olusegun Obasanjo to African Union's Peace and Security Committee, and he recommended that for lasting peace and stability and for a lasting solution to Tigray problem, Eritrea should be formally invited to be part of these talks. And since yesterday, people are giving their analysis, their opinions about this African Union's position, this recommendation. Some activists are saying that African Union is supporting PM Abiy's narrative. That is why it wants Eritrea to be part of this peace process. Well, firstly, the document which recommends inclusion of Eritrea mentions that there are several conflicts ongoing in Ethiopia. War, which has come to an end temporarily between Tigray government and Ethiopian federal government. Secondly, Oromia, BG, ethnic conflicts going on for years. Thirdly, Ethiopia-Sudan border conflict. Fourthly, new phenomena, Al-Shabaab's attacks on Ethiopian territories. In recent months, we have seen clashes on Eritrea-Tigray border. And Tigray claimed that dozens of Eritrean soldiers were killed. Some were captured as well, shown by Tigray TV, though rejected by some Eritrean news sources. They said two were not Eritreans. They were not Eritrean government soldiers. So, tensions across Ethiopia. And Obasanjo is recommending that for lasting peace, Eritrea should be involved. Otherwise, the peace, the agreement which will be reached will not be long lasting. Well, if you ask my opinion, there is so much animosity and hatred between Tigray and Eritrea that there should be some solution to end this animosity. Otherwise, a new war will break out sooner or later. Asmara and Mekelle must talk. Yes, it's difficult for Tigray to sit with Eritrea because Eritrean forces plundered Tigray. They devastated Tigray. They tried their best to destroy Tigray in alliance with Ethiopian federal forces. But for the sake of peace, Tigray will have to sit with Eritrea. If there is no diplomatic engagement between Mekelle and Asmara, tensions will remain. And sooner or later, when Tigray will be in a position to militarily challenge Eritrea after recovering from what it is going through, you will see resumption of armed hostilities. So I would back the inclusion of Eritrea in this peace process. Yes, viewers won't agree with me because, as I said earlier, people are angry. Tigrayans are angry for the role played by Eritrea in destroying Tigray. Eritrean forces tried to weaken Tigray militarily. But problem is that if Debretsion and Abiy can sit, why not Debretsion and Isaias Afwerki? A few months ago, no one could have imagined that people would be talking about forming committees, the start of talks, and everyone was saying that this conflict would come to an end through military means. But you saw that talks are being planned these days. So yes, similar situation could develop between Eritrea and Tigray as well. It should be encouraged for lasting peace and stability. Damage has been done. Tigray has suffered loss, no doubt about that. But how to bring peace? This is the important question. For peace and stability, the parties will have to talk. That is my understanding. Thank you for watching.